What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to the French Map and Farming Simulator 22. And welcome back to the series where BP tries a bunch of stuff he's never actually done in Farm Sim before. Grapes, olives, building, big European arable, a lot of things that I've never actually done in Farm Sim. And I've decided that this series is what that's going to be about. So we're over here at the house. Now, you're going to see a lot of changes. I'm going to give you a tour of all the things that I've been doing off screen. And the reason I did it off screen is because whenever I build anything, it's a lot of, does that look good? Nah, that doesn't look good. Get rid of it. You know, a lot of swearing at things that don't do what I want them to do. And I just didn't think that would make a very good video. But the house is done, and the operational part of the farm is done, and we'll show you that in a minute. So I changed the bridge. That other bridge was pretty ugly. I went with a sort of plain plank one. I would really like to be able to put some railings on it. But, you know, limitations of Farm Sim, it's fine. I can drive over it. It's very nice. I got me some placeable cars. So I have a 2CV, even though I can't drive it. But it's sitting there, so that's okay. I uncluttered this area. I got rid of all the flowers and all of that stuff. It was just a little cluttered. I have a tendency to do that. Wherever I can place a bunch of stuff, I tend to place a bunch of stuff. And then I look at it later. And I'm like, nah, I don't like that. It's all cluttered. So I got rid of all that. Added a few more lights. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I wanted to try to build a dock. Well, I did, using that same plank bridge setup that I had before. So I have a little dock down here now with a little, I guess, a boathouse kind of thing. You know, some tables, some chairs, some trash bins. I put some more rocks around the other side of it. I put some more rocks over here. And then I built another dock with this little just random building because I thought it was cool. I put another dock down here with a garage. I kind of envision this as being where I'd keep the jet skis, or maybe like a personal watercraft or something, right? It'd be cool if I could get a placeable one of those and stick it in the water. I may have to see if I can find one. I also did some terrain painting around the edge of the pond. I added some rock texture, and I added some little beach areas here and there, just because I thought it looked cool. So the house, the residential area is all done. The operational area is pretty much done, and I went a little crazy with this. So we're going to jump in the truck and drive across the bridge, and I'll show you what I built. And then you come up here to the operational end of this farm. Now, it's nice to not have to worry about money, let me just say, because I went a little crazy up here. So as you can see, we have one of these great big contractor sheds. You know, I could park every single thing I'm ever going to need in here and still have room to spare. So I thought this was cool. It was expensive, but I don't care. This isn't about money. So, you know, we have all this space. We have an upstairs, and, you know, there's offices and all kinds of things. I have a little shed in here because, as I've said a million times, my terraforming skills are awful, and I had the hardest time getting this so that it wasn't all peaks and valleys, and I ended up being stuck with this that I couldn't get rid of without moving the building, and I didn't want to do that, so I just stuck another one of those little garage things in there. I think it looks kind of neat, actually. Some more placeable equipment. These are both just placeables, a big digger and a wheel loader. These are functional. Diesel tank, a electric charging station, and, because you never know, a methane refill station, because why not, right? I also have a weather station up on top of the building, which I thought was cool. Then I have this open air shed, so in case I need to park more equipment. I finally figured out fencing. I figured out what I was doing wrong, so I managed to get fences all the way around this property. Just because I think something like this, you know, this kind of money would probably be fenced off. So I ran fences all the way around here. I put some trees and some rocks just to pretty it up a little bit. I have a little like break area for the employees over here where they could sit down and have lunch and stuff. I got some trash barrels, some benches, some trees, just a very pleasant area, I think, because I'm a good boss. I have this big grass area on this side, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. I may not do anything with it. I may just leave it just the way it is. I just thought it was cool, so I fenced it all off. And then over here, hop over this fence. There are gates. I just don't remember where I actually put them. Oh, here's one right here. I think this opens the wrong way. It does, but whatever. And then down here, we have this huge expanse of grass and a horse stable. Because I sort of got thinking about it. I'm like, if this farm, say this was a real life farm, right? And say they had this huge contractor operation going on up there and all this land. Well, they might be pretty rich and they might want some horses. Maybe the daughters or the sons or whatever like horses. So I put in a horse pasture. Just a regular large horse pasture, in-game pasture. Put a tree in there, put some hedges and stuff around it, and I put the white fencing up and down the road because I thought that was cool. I also have this little area over here where maybe you'd put, I don't know, foals, or maybe you'd run your horses or something. I don't know. It's more just an aesthetic thing than anything else. And then I have a little barn over here where you can put hay and bags of oats and things like that. So that's that. So like I said, I wanted to spare you the agony of watching me build this because it's a lot of put that piece down. No, I don't like it. Get rid of that piece. Swear at fences because they're not doing what I want them to do and things like that. So if we jump up in the air here, you can get a overview of what I'm looking at. All these sheds have solar panels on them too, so they actually generate a little money. Not that I really care about that, but it's a sustainable thing and I like it. So there's the pond or the lake with our house on it and our bridge and our horse pasture and this big old operations yard here with a road down to the main road. There's a road from the horse pasture to the main road, all fenced off and everything. So I think grapes down here will look kind of cool. Probably have a pretty expansive orchard, vineyard, I would imagine. Just because I got all this room and I might as well use it. I'm not planning on putting any more animals down here. I just thought the horses were kind of a posh thing, and I thought it was neat. Plus, I think I've maybe done anything with horses once in their entire existence in Farm Sim. So thought I'd give it a go. So we're gonna plant some grapes. It's August and I do have the seasonal growth calendar paused because I don't really care for this particular series all that much. I know you can't really plant grapes until March, but I want to plant them now when it's August, so I just paused it. Great thing about a game, we can suspend reality, right? So let's see how this is gonna go. So if we go all the way to the end to there, that'll be good, and then we can do another one. And I don't know exactly what the distance wants to be. I guess it's going to snap to the distance it wants to be, right? So okay, I mean, these are probably not going to be too straight, I wouldn't imagine, but we'll try. You can also see the money that we have. It isn't much. This cost a lot of money to build this. So, again, I don't really worry about money. I don't care. If I run out, I run out. I'll just go make more, you know what I mean? Because as I've said numerous times, this is about the doing of the things as opposed to the money of the things. So, I don't know how many grapevines or grape plants or whatever the correct term is that you need to actually be productive, right? I don't know. So I'm going to put in a bunch, and we'll see how that goes, I guess. I guess they're spacing themselves out pretty good, so that's good. Whether or not they're even on the other end, I doubt it. But that's less important to me too, so. I'm not sure how many rows of these I actually want to do. Obviously I want to do enough rows to make it worth it. I want to do enough rows to make, having the equipment worth it and stuff like that. So even though this isn't about money, I do want to use all the cool equipment, which is really why I'm doing this. So it just seems like it makes sense to have a pretty substantial vineyard. So let's have a pretty substantial vineyard. Now I should probably put some kind of fencing around down the bottom of this here, right? Because this is a separate entity from everything else. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm waiting for somebody to tell me to stop or what, or if I'm going to go all the way to the river or all the way to the pond. I may not go that far. We'll have to see, I guess. That one's not right. That one's not right. That one didn't snap. There we go. Now it snapped. Yeah, it's a little uneven on the other side, but that's fine. Whatever. I don't really care. Maybe 2 more rows? Maybe 3 more rows, I guess. This is not cheap either. This is about 8,200 euros per row. So obviously, if I was worried about money, I wouldn't be building a vineyard this big. So, and I didn't want to build a massive vineyard, but I don't know what a massive vineyard looks like. So I'm sure one of you will be able to tell me what is this a big I guess I'm at the end of my rope here because now it wants to collide with something else. Okay. I don't know if this is a giant vineyard or if it's a small one, or I really don't know. I don't have any experience with vineyards. So let's get out of that. Then we can run down here and have a look at it. Okay. Well, all right. So, I mean, there's our vineyard. Like I said, it's a little uneven on this side, but it's not awful, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a lot, but what do I know? Well, I really don't. Now, I'm pretty sure that I have to do many things to these grapes, right? I have to cultivate it. I have to mulch it. I have to fertilize the grapes, as you would any other crop. So there's all that. The birds are already on them, so that's good, right? Birds like grapes. But I think the first thing we have to do is buy some equipment. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of this episode is buy the equipment, or as I stopped in the middle of a sentence, as I so often do, or do I really want to try to maximize the potential of this piece of land and get rid of these trees that are here now and put in an olive grove over here? Would an olive grove over here be silly? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out if that would be silly or not. I mean, it's not very big. But let's see what it would look like if we put in an olive grove in here. I probably would want to get rid of some of these trees, though, I think. So if we start here, say, and we come all the way down. I don't know. Is that a lot of trees? See, again, I don't really know. I know it's not cheap. Now, are you going to snap to where I can... No, not really, huh? Well, that's crooked. This is the thing about this, is that it could be a little bit more intuitive, I think. That looks a little straighter. So try to catch the edge of one row and drag it down to the other side. I don't know if this is a lot of trees or not. I really couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Not having a lot of experience with this sort of agriculture. So, and I know they're not very straight. I know that for a fact. Plus, I can't even see the other end because there's trees in the way. I may not. I don't know. I may have enough room to turn around, I guess, at the other end. Something I need to think about. Obviously, they're not particularly straight, but okay. Oh, maybe one more row, I guess. Again, I don't know if this is a lot of trees or not. I don't know if this is a big olive grove, if this is a little olive grove. I really don't know. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of trees there. So, and it stretches all the way down here. So, it's funny. I really didn't have, and this row's way too long, but okay. These trees are going to have to come out. I think they're going to shade the olives too much, and the olives aren't going to get enough sun. I mean, I think that's how it would probably work in the real world. I really didn't have a whole lot of intention of doing the grapes and the olives in the same area like this. But, I mean, I think it works. I mean, I could really even put something over here. Although I kind of want to keep that area open. Maybe you ride your horse over there or whatever. I mean, you wouldn't, because obviously. But, well, you might. I mean, it's all fenced off and everything. And I could fence it down the road here to fence it all the way off, I suppose. That could be something I could do. But, oh well, I mean, the grapes and the olives are in now, so I guess you guys are going to have to let me know what you think about that. So I guess now the next thing we have to do is go to the dealer and buy a bunch of equipment. I'll see you at the dealer, guys. Okay, so there's $390,000 worth of equipment. I have never bought it before in my entire nearly 10 years of playing Farm Sim. Luckily, Farm Sim 22 makes it easy. You click on it, you go into the little box, the bundle icon in the shop. You click on it. It tells you everything you need for whatever you're trying to grow, right? There are some options about what you can buy. I decided to go with a Fendt tractor because this is one of those tractors that is so ugly that it's actually cute, right? I mean, it's a 211 Vario. How they managed to shove a Vario box in this, what to me looks like a big lawn tractor. I mean, it is 114 horsepower, so it's a real tractor. I'm not making fun of it, but it's so ugly. I mean, geez, because it's so narrow, right? But hey, it works. So, and it's so ugly, it's cute. You know, it's like a really ugly dog that you just think is adorable. So it runs on diesel, so that's fine. Make it into methane and electricity later. I was actually looking at one of the electric tractors. I think they're too wide though. We may do some electric stuff on something else later on down the road. Obviously, we need the grape harvester because there's no way to just go pick the grapes by hand, and that's a lot of grapes, so probably wouldn't want to do that anyway. This was the big chunk of the money. This is 220 grand, I think. All I did was change the tires because why not? I mean, if it lets me, I'm gonna. So the grapevine pruner, that's a pretty violent piece of equipment. I didn't think you would do anything around, you know, what seems to be a very delicate plant with something this aggressive, but obviously, what do I know? I don't know anything about grapes, so it is what it is. The mercury atomizer sprayer, which I'm actually familiar with, not a mercury model, but an atomizer sprayer, because we used to use them at the apple orchard I used to work at when I was just a wee boy. So I'm actually familiar with these, but so that was pretty cool, and I've seen this work before, and it's got a neat animation. We've got the little tiny mulcher and the little tiny subsoiler / cultivator. So very cool. Jeez, look how small this thing is. I mean, you just about leave it to Fendt. I mean, Fendt manages to cram all the stuff that they cram into their full-size tractors into this little bitty thing. It's amazing, isn't it? Fire it up. Listen to that engine. Tell me that doesn't sound like a lawnmower engine, huh? That's cool. And what's even cooler about it is it's a Vario, so I don't have to shift it. Even better. All right, what do we want to take with us first? I guess it doesn't really matter. All this stuff's got to go. So I don't think I really want to put anything on the front, although that mulcher is not very big. I could probably get away with putting that on the front. I don't know how heavy it is and how much weight this tractor is going to want to take, but we're going to find out. So if I put the subsoiler, obviously the cultivator subsoiler on the back, that's not going to want to go anywhere else but on the back. Let's see if we can get this mulcher on the front. It may not be the safest thing in the world, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. I got to say, I am a big fan of this tractor. You know, everybody knows I like small tractors, right? Small tractors, small farms, and all that sort of stuff. But, oh, is it going to lift it? Yep. Front PTO and everything. Excellent. All right, cool. Probably going to need some beacon for this, though. All right. Back to the farm with our first load. 114 horsepower. I mean, it isn't exactly a slouch, so I figure we splurged out for everything else on this farm. We might as well splash out for the big horsepower tractor. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, BP. You spent 3 million euros building this farm, and you buy what basically amounts to a very posh lawn tractor. Yes, don't worry, guys. The big arable will be coming. Once I get my head around the grapes and the olives, we still have this whole field over here and a lot more to buy. So don't worry, all that's coming. Now, do I just leave this stuff in here? I think I do. I think this is what I do with this. I think this will be for this stuff. Lower that, drop that off. We can get turned around and put I don't know what I'm going to be using first. I think I'm going to be using that mulcher first, I believe. I believe it goes mulch, cultivate, fertilize with grapes and olives. So now luckily this stuff's so small that it really will fit in one bay of this thing. So you can go there. We'll jump into this, and this has got to go back. So this is definitely going to need a beacon. So yeah, so I've seen these before, obviously. I've seen them in Farm Sim 22. I've seen them as mods in other Farm Sims. But this is the first time I've ever actually been in one. So it's actually pretty cool. You know, that's got a radio and everything. All right, well, that's good. You know, long day in the vineyards, right? Oh, don't smoke, kids. It's very bad. All right, let's get this down the road. Obviously joystick control, as you would expect something like this to be. Now, I suppose if I was smart, I would have put this on a low loader. But I don't mind driving this kind of stuff, but it's not very far. So this even has the lazy pegs on it. So if you're doing this for hours and hours and hours, you put your feet up there, and your feet don't get tired. Your legs don't get tired from sitting down for so long. That's cool. So this makes me think that my vineyard is not very big. which means we're going to have to expand into somewhere else pretty quickly, I would think. But we'll see. We'll get through a harvest, and we'll see how we do. You know, how the production is and everything, how the actual yield of these things is. If they're good, then we can expand. You know, buy some more land and put up some more vines and everything. So this being, you know, $220,000 worth of fairly high-tech equipment, I definitely think this wants to go into our very expensive contractor shed. So we'll some more of my great terraforming. This can just go over here. Enough room to turn it all the way around and park it in front of the door and then back it up. Can you see out the back window of this thing? Is there anything to see out the back window? Oh, you can. Yeah, okay. All right, that'll do. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I got to say, you know, I don't know why I was so hesitant to build in Farm Sim. It's easy enough, right? You know, you're not building the stuff piece by piece. You know, you're taking an object, you're plopping it down, you're doing some terraforming, you're doing some decoration. You know what I mean? And I've seen some of you guys are amazing at this. I've seen some beautiful farms from you guys. It is truly amazing what you guys can do. My stuff tends to be less that, but at the end of the day, I have to like it, and I like what I built. So now, is it way over the top? Of course it is. Of course it's way over the top. You know what I mean? Yep, I went the wrong way. It's way over the top. There's no need for half of the stuff that I have on this farm, quote unquote. But I like it. So, and it's funny because it doesn't take much for me to sort of get, even though there's no story in this series, there's a story in my head because there always is. Once I placed that contractor shed, I was like, if you can afford this thing, then you're probably being pretty successful, and you can probably, you know, you'll probably live in a nice house. Maybe you'll have some horses. You know, maybe you'll spend some money on your operational yard to make it look nice, right? So that's really where all that came from. Once I have a story in my head, it makes it a lot easier for me to be able to, you know, put stuff together and say, oh yeah, well now this has a reason for being here, or now this has an excuse for being here. You know, there's an explanation for this. So stories make everything easier as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so I'm going to park this up. We'll put the tractor in the contractor shed too, because why wouldn't you? Actually, I might put this fertilizer sprayer in there too. Stop! I tell you, this thing moves right along, but it doesn't have the best brakes in the world, that's for sure. Now, trying to back up something very short with the wheels all the way in the back of the frame and a very short drawbar. This is going to be interesting. And if I'd have made a slightest attempt to come in here straight, it would have been a lot easier. I love the noise the engine in this Fendt makes. And the thing is, this is a 114 horsepower engine, so it isn't exactly like, you know, it isn't your lawn tractor, so. Alright. Not perfect, but it'll do. And don't bust the atomizer housing into the post of the shed. Alright, cool. Now we'll go park this up. The sun's going to be going down. It was a full rich day here here in France. So, very cool. Oh yeah, big old bump driving in. My terraforming skills are just awful. But oh well, it's there, it's staying there now. Alright, very cool. We should have turned that off, turn the engine off, jump out. Excellent. Now we just go back to the house. I mean, I should have got my truck, I guess. But it can sit down at the dealer. It won't be, it isn't the end of the world. So, we got our vines in. Our operational yard is done. Our house is done. Everything's fenced up and got decorations. And we've got a horse barn now, which I'll put horses in eventually. Once I get some feed for them and stuff. So, I'm going to run back to the house here. I'm going to open up a cold beverage. And I'm going to sit down by the pond and watch the sun come down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. As always, let me know what you think. If you like what I'm doing, please let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, please let me know. any suggestions or tips or recommendations or anything like that, I'll be glad to hear them. And always, guys, remember, I do this for you. I do it for me. I do it for us. I do it because of you. Without you, there's no me. There's no point in me making videos. Every single one of you means something to me, and I can't say thank you enough to the guys who've been around with me for all these years. It means everything to me. Thank you so very much. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see. All you ever have to do here is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, leave a comment if you have something to say. Make sure you click the bell button as well to be notified of when I make a new video, to keep up with the ongoing saga of Maypole Farm, my roleplay series, and here on the French map, where I'm just building stuff and planting stuff and using equipment that I've never got to use before, and generally having a good time. And as always, this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.